Welcome to another episode of Year of the Full Moon, and this is our last of the non-Puppet Master related movies for a while.
Oh boy.
And it was 1993's Dollman versus Demonic Toys.
Horrible movie. I would say the worst one we've seen so far, at least.
By a lot.
Before this, Demonic Toys was probably my least favorite, because, Dollman was one of those that was, it wasn't a great movie, but it was fun to watch.
Well, here's the thing. Demonic Toys and Dollman were probably both our least favorite so far. Yeah. So they cross over those two. Throw in Bad Channel, our third least favorite. It was, middle of the road.
Yeah.
And, because, it also is a sequel to Bad Channels, in a way. It's 3 movies in one.
Well, how they combined it was weird. Okay, they take, obviously, Dollman, because, he's a little guy. So, of course, they're like, okay.
He wants a woman. So, he gets the short person.
Yeah, you know how we were talking about how in Bad Channels they the alien for some weird reason shrinks the women down. Yeah, they do that because at the end of the movie there's a woman that is shrunk down, and it's the last thing you see. And you're like, oh no, what's so shrunk down? And then in this one, it's that same woman, but it's not the same woman.
It's one of the women that it was a Nurse Ginger from Bad Channels. You saw her get out of being little at the end of that movie.
You saw her big at the end
of
that movie.
Out.
It was a girl,
different woman.
Her, Cookie, the main girl, were all big. They got back, but it was I forget the girl's
Bunny.
name.
I don't know.
Was it like Bunny or something?
Just one girl
who was like a teenager that was in and they she was the one that was so small. But for some reason in this movie they're acting like no. It was the nurse that was small.
There's even a extended flashback scene from that movie.
Oh yeah, we'll get back to the flashbacks.
Rewrote the ending. They even redubbed someone's line so they say Nurse Ginger instead of whatever the other girl's name was. And they just make it seem like this was a short girl all along. So first off, that's already a big no for a movie. Just no. You don't rewrite it like that.
When there's 6 movies in a trilogy, not trilogy, but 6 movies in a kind of timeline. It gets swampy, kind of like X-Men. I could forgive a little bit how they did that with
many years past.
Yeah,
this one year.
1 year, and they're I guarantee you it was something along the lines of either we like this actress better. This is the only actress that was willing to come back. They probably asked the other one, and she said no or was busy. So they're oh no, we're gonna have to redo all this. They could have played it off better. They could have said, oh, it wore off. She came big, but it wore off. That would have been an easy...
They didn't bother with that.
No, they took the time to redub a line that said...
And speaking of, this flashback footage, they flash back to not only Bad Channels, but to Dollman and Demonic Toys kind of twice. The intro is, recapping Demonic Toys, and then they recap the flashback scene in Demonic Toys.
There's probably 15 to 15 minutes plus flashbacks, and this is
it's a 60-minute movie.
It's an hour-long movie. There's no first off, if you feel like you need to flashback for an entire for 5 minutes of a movie to a previous one, you either are assuming people didn't watch that movie.
And I'll just say right now, if you're watching...
Or you're padding the runtime.
If you're watching Dollman vs. Demonic Toys, you have seen Dollman and Demonic Toys. You would never just watch it on its own. And yes, it was to pad the runtime. That's 100% why.
Because it was, somehow he finds out about, Brick finds out, oh, the small girl, there's still a small girl. And he finds her house somehow. And she's living in a full big house, but she's tiny.
But she just lives on the counter of her kitchen.
Yeah, for some reason. Oh, I just thought of this. There's a reporter in her window taking pictures, and he's like, I'll stop you, give me an exclusive interview. Okay, I'll do that. And then it's never talked about again.
Yeah, no, nothing about that ever happened. You never see that guy again.
It just popped into my head. It was that was another padding the runtime because they realized...
It would have been a 45-minute movie if it wasn't for all this. It was really long opening and ending credits.
Yeah,
especially
so that
opening,
probably...
It was 4 or 5 minutes.
That probably was a good 6 to 10 minutes of the movie too.
45
and
minute
it takes
movie.
they're beyond halfway in a 60-minute movie before they even bring all of them together fighting the demonic toys. And it was just like, you could tell they forced it. Brick's only trying to get a girl, and then they're like, he walks into her house. He doesn't even knock. She's like in a bikini, just like sunbathing on her counter, and then this guy this creepy old man just walks in. And then like
blows apart a spider and goes, "Please sleep with me," basically.
And then they're like getting it on, and then the police girl from
Demonic Toys shows up.
Just walks in the door, doesn't knock. For some reason, she was looking for little people to fight the demonic toys, which makes no sense. But so she goes to the nurse, which the nurse has no skill.
She's just short.
She's little. That's about it. So it's like, okay, but you found Brick. But
no way she could have known he was there.
Yeah, because he just barged in and slept with her.
Like a few hours beforehand.
It was just. It's like probably 35 minutes into the movie when they actually bring them to the location with the demonic toy. They recast Whoopsie Daisy?
Baby Oopsie Daisy.
Oopsie Daisy. Yeah, they recast her voice. Her voice was better in the last one. This one is kind of
hard
weird.
To understand.
Now it's a guy voice, I guess, because Baby Oopsie Daisy is gonna has a little girl lady tied
wants
up
to rape Nurse Ginger.
And she's like,
we'll talk about that part later.
Yeah.
When we get to the climax, that makes no sense. So to talk about demonic toys real quick, that's kind of like the main thread. Is a hobo breaks into the same toy store. Like, he's riding around on a tricycle.
Notoriously bad security, I guess, at this store. Because, horrible, triple whatever homicide and that. And then there's a toy.
Yeah, it's just fine.
And they have a midget security guard.
For
which,
some reason.
You need a midget security guard. But, yeah, he breaks in there, gets on a unicycle, like, I'm riding around. And then, boxes fall on his head. Kill him. Blood's everywhere.
River of blood. Just, you could even see it flowing.
And that's what I assume
and it
resurrects
brings back toys.
Yeah, because I guess the toys didn't dump the boxes on his head. It just
happened. It just happened.
And at the same time, the girl was going to break in there, and then she gets arrested for shooting at some toys, and then
for some reason,
and then nothing comes about of that.
No, we don't learn about that storyline either anymore.
It's just then she goes searching for the little people to, fight,
and then that becomes the storyline.
Because full-on adults couldn't take on all these demonic, so we're going to bring in little people.
Yeah, Nurse Ginger will definitely make a difference. So also, let's talk about demonic toys, because we talk about the puppets or the dolls was in the movie. Baby Oopsie Daisy's back along with Mr. Static, who's just a robot. And then Jack Attack, which is a Jack-in-the-Box, but almost instantly he comes out of the Jack-in-the-Box and he's just like a clown snake thing. And then also there's a fourth one. Instead of Grizzly Teddy, it is now a guy named Zombie.
Do you know who Max Steel is? It's like Max Steel.
But weirder.
Yeah.
And he
creepier.
has a fixed expression of
which is
the
hilarious.
whole time. So there are toy versions, but when Dollman is facing them, they become
actually had to put
big,
people in costumes,
human-sized actor.
So yeah,
it's unnerving.
Yeah.
Same with they also have giant Jack Attack and giant Baby Oopsie Daisy. They look bad to the point they're funny, but
it was really hard. A lot of stuff because Brick has this gun that blows people up, which is awesome.
Which is the coolest thing in
So they had to get that away from him for a while.
Because the moment he gets it back, the movie will end.
Yeah, don't worry. He kills everybody with that gun.
It's just it's just not a good movie.
It was thrown together to be
I feel like it was just promoting movies that had already came out.
Because, it was probably just a promotion solely because of how much flashbacks they had.
Yeah. So let's talk about the climax that made no sense. The whole demon aspect from Demonic Toys is they're gonna possess, instead of the unborn child of the main lady from Demonic Toys, it's now possessing Baby Oopsie Daisy, who would then impregnate the
small lady.
Nurse Ginger, and then they'll give birth to the creature.
But what I don't get is she's tiny, so
it's gonna be a tiny.
Is it gonna be a tiny Antichrist, a tiny Satan? To me, that's just
I don't know.
Okay. We could just step on Satan at that point. That's not really a problem.
It makes no sense. This was.
But the
so
baby
bad.
has a baby Oopsie Daisy has a fully functioning penis.
Apparently, because you make dolls for kids with fully functioning penises.
And it was a female doll in
I
the last
thought
movie.
so. Maybe it was. It had a female voice in the first Demonic Toys.
It was a female doll. No, they changed it because,
Did, like, when it get possessed by the demon in this movie, did it grow a penis?
Yeah, did it just like... Did it just...
It was unnerving. It was extended scenes of him, like, baby
Grope.
Oopsie David like, dude, a gigantic baby doll groping a ginger.
So its hands were just like this because it's a giant
Yeah.
thing. It was just like doing that to her, and it was like...
I'd love behind the scenes on that.
And I'm like,
that movie.
I'm a little unnerved. I kind of want Brick to come in and blow its head off, which he does. But like, it was a shameless, like, promotion. I think you're right. I think it was a shameless promotion.
I just wanted to
of movies.
talk about the other movies they already made.
And it took felt like the worst parts of all of it, and they just kind of put it together, and it came off really weak. And we're bashing this movie to death, which we really shouldn't be. But
there's not a lot of good stuff about this movie. Pretty much the only good things I would say is Dollman coming back. He has one-liners. He has a cool gun. Tim Thomerson is just so cool. And
the
then,
nurse is in a bikini a little bit.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I guess that's okay.
And then just kind of some of the dolls are cool. Like,
yeah, like the dolls are cool again, but they're not.
Zombie Toid is not cool. He's just stupid. Baby Oopsie Daisy has a bad voice. Jack Attack.
Oh, and
he's more great
the midget. We forgot to mention the midget security guard ends up finding the dolls, and like he starts bringing them dead hookers to sacrifice.
No, they talk about like you gotta like follow up on your end of the deal, but maybe I missed it. But like, what was the deal that was made?
Why we don't kill you? You bring us. I don't.
You don't kill you and bring your hookers. You better follow up on that deal.
So he's like bringing dead hookers there.
But like that, like hooker, you only see one, and then
he confronts the girl from the original one
from Demonic Toys,
and he's just like don't move, I'll kill you, and she's just got one hand, and then I think he shoots and she shoots and
they die, and like he dies.
Yeah.
But then Mr. Stack shows up and just kills the Demonic Toys lady, and it becomes just a Dollman movie after that. Which I guess it lives up to the title, Dollman versus Demonic Toys, but...
Yeah, it was... They probably merged their 3 weakest movies, and then...
Now, I know that they probably had a lot of worse movies at the
I'm
time,
sure they got...
But they've had much better movies. Why couldn't Puppet Master go up, like, Puppet Master and Trancers go together? Like, take their big franchises, not their little ones. Like, I don't know, Subspecies, Trancers, Puppet Master, couldn't those have just done something together?
Yeah, it was definitely, and I'm somebody that I always thought their weakest that we've watched for this thing was Demonic Toys, which was weird. I've heard about that movie for a long time, and I
wanted to see it.
I watched Puppet Master and a few of them, and I was like, I've always liked those, so I had higher hopes for it. So hopefully down the road,
same company, made same era. It was so much worse.
You could tell who had the budget and who didn't.
Yeah. I know that there's going to be 2 more Demonic Toys movies later. There's a Demonic Toys 2 and then a Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Let's see.
We'll get to those in due time.
I hope they don't like murder the series. With those.
Luckily, though, we're going to go back to Puppet Master for our next review. Is going to be Puppet Master 4. And I'm just glad to be away from Demonic Toys for
I am, yeah. It needed to go away.
So tune back in 2 weeks and you'll learn about Puppet Master 4.